From the day that I met you, I stopped feeling afraid. In your arms I feel safe. In your arms I feel safe. From the day that I met you, I stopped feeling afraid. In your arms I feel safe. In your arms I feel safe. From the day that I met you, I stopped feeling afraid. In your arms I feel safe. In your arms I feel safe. From the day that I met you, I stopped feeling afraid. In your arms I feel safe. In your arms I feel safe.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin, and welcome to the Nauman Family Cabin. Thank you to all the family and friends here this afternoon to help celebrate Kelsey and Neil. At this time, I invite you to all leave stress at the door, or at the dock as it may be, take in our surroundings, and appreciate why we're all here today. Kelsey, Neil, in this beautiful setting, encircled by the ones you love and who very much love you, today is a milestone in the journey you will share with one another. To kick things off, I'd like to introduce Denise and Phyllis, who will share a welcome greeting and a short history of the cabin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I will get this out of the way right away. It's been a rough last week, culminating in this today, but I think I'd like to at least address it. You may have noticed I have a mobility issue. And if you're wondering, it's not a good story. I wasn't climbing a mountain or slalom skiing or even in bad turbulence on the airplane. I was walking the dog in our backyard on a hillside, and we saw little bunny Foo-Foo, and the dog bolted, and my foot turned, and I heard a crunch. And after the ER and propofol and surgery, here I am today. But I also want to acknowledge that we had a mishap this morning. We got a call from the local kennel who is keeping our dogs, and Kelsey and Neil's dog went missing. So on top of trying to prepare for everything, everyone here just kicked in and helped look for the dog, which we haven't found, and helped get things set up. So we were about 3 hours behind. But we'll still continue looking for little Nico tomorrow, but that did put a little damper on this. So now, welcome to all our wonderful families and friends who are here today to celebrate Kelsey and Neil's love for each other, their wedding, and also celebrate place, which is this cabin setting. We thank all of you for coming to help us celebrate this very special occasion in our lives. We honor all of you who have influenced and touched Kelsey and Neil's life. I would like to recognize the people who are here today. When I mention your group, just give a little wave. I will start first with Kelsey's side of the family. We have the Nauman family, and we are at the Nauman family cabin. You can wave, Naumans. Her cousins came from Kansas and Colorado, and Natalie's boyfriend Andrew came from California, and Natalie is Kelsey's sister. We are also honored to have Kelsey's grandma here today, her grandma Doreen, and she will be 89 in November. So we're so glad you are here today, Doreen, for this celebration. The cabin next door is Conrad's first cousin, Phyllis, and her husband, Charlie. You can wave. And they so graciously let us use their space, too. And in that cabin was the Martin side, which is my side of the family. And one of my sisters and her family came from North Dakota. Wave, Martin family, wherever you are. Neil's family includes the Dressels and the Baylorjans. It's taken me a while to get that pronunciation correct. And we are honored to have Neil's grandparents, Gordon and Bonna May, with us today. Wave, Gordon and Bonna May. Gordon is 95, Boname will be 95, and last week they celebrated 68 years of marriage. Neil's cousins have come from Iowa, Colorado, and Utah, and Peg and Gary are Neil's parents. Now I will continue with friends, working forward chronologically. We have church friends here from when the girls were preschool. Wave, grouping, wherever you are. And out of that came our summer child care, which now include lifelong friends. And they came from California for the celebration. We continue on with soccer friends and family from Washington State and here, Lindsay over there. And high school friends from Wisconsin, California, and I may have missed some other places. We have college friends from Colorado, Seattle, and Oregon. And I think I want to keep Corinne and Natalie here to always assist me. They have been phenomenal for the entire week. They got here Tuesday. And Kelsey's grad school friend is here, and her boss and mentor, Julie. I don't know where, okay. For Neil, we have his high school and choir friends. Some are down there and some are elsewhere, and some coming from Wisconsin and Texas, and I may have missed some other places. And we also have, give a hand to the Robbinsdale firefighter friends and their spouses. I especially want to thank everyone who made the effort to come from many parts of the country. When I was recently talking to Kelsey about her marriage and why she wanted Neil as her life partner, along with several nice things she said about Neil, right towards the top of her list was his friends. She said, "I really like his friends." She said he also likes small dogs, he doesn't fight, and he gets things done. He's a get-her-done kind of guy. When I first met Neil, I was immediately impressed because he read the Sunday New York Times every week from front to back and was an avid reader of many types of books. He is also open to adventure. They were also very comfortable in their relationship when Kelsey went to Africa and other places in the world for 5 months, and Neil lived in Seattle with Kevin, who was up there for several months. When I asked Neil about why he wanted a marriage to Kelsey, he said he loved her laugh, her positivity in both good times and bad, and that's been tested today, and her hard work ethic towards life, love, and travel. As you all know, Kelsey and Neil are such good people, always willing to help out, not expecting any recognition. Both are very modest about their accomplishments and rarely talk about themselves. So today, they can be the center of attention, and we have a day to celebrate them. As we all know, being kind to each other is important in a successful marriage. I would like to give you just a couple examples of their kindnesses towards others. And I know Jody is here today, but when Jody and Kelsey were in Africa working in an orphanage, one of the young school children was ill. And Kelsey had asked, well, what do we do? And they said, we can't afford to take her for medical care. So Jody and Kelsey took her on their back and walked to the local clinic, I'll say several miles. And she did have malaria, and they paid for her treatment, which was under $10. When Kelsey's grandpa no longer could use his power wheelchair, we thought, what do we do with this now? And Kelsey, being big on Craigslist, said, I'll try to sell it on Craigslist. So we said, okay, you sell it, you can keep the money. Well, the first family that drove up came up in a van. They didn't speak English. The person was very disabled. And they looked at the chair, and Kelsey gave it to them. And she said everyone started crying. When Neil's grandpa fell last winter, Neil was the first over there and rode with Gordon in the ambulance to the hospital while Kelsey stayed with his grandmother. I was struck by a passage President Obama used in a speech he made at the memorial service for the slain Dallas police officers. It has so much relevance in a marriage. It comes from 1 John 3:18. Let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. And that really resonated with me. I don't know about you, but every time I go to a wedding, I contemplate my own marriage. It's just been 38 years, and it is still a work in progress after all these years. I was on a trip in India last fall, and there were 6 of us who were there without our spouses. We were actually having a very good time. One of the women said, "Marriage is an endurance test." We all laughed. My hope for you, and it's too difficult to try to turn around, so, is that marriage will not be an endurance test. In your marriage, enjoy your wonderful friends, embrace your family, laugh, share, love, speak kindly, be truthful, and appreciate each other. I love you. Now I would like to introduce Phil Faring, who's Conrad's first cousin, and they own the cabin next door. We will honor this place and the significance of where we are as she just gives you a little history. And Conrad said he would like to break in for a moment.
Today we went through a lot of rain, and we didn't know if it would ever end. But if you look out over that way, there's the beginning of a rainbow.
So we have a rainbow coming over the couple. Okay, Phyllis.
In 1942, Kelsey's great-grandfather, Reverend Albert Nauman, and his wife Amelia were sent to serve the Evangelical United Brethren Church at South Haven, Minnesota. At that time, South Haven was quite a bustling little town with a general store, meat market, hotels, restaurants, and a passenger train that actually stopped. Reverend Nauman and his wife enjoyed fishing in the neighboring lakes, especially here at Lake Sylvia, where they would catch 5-gallon buckets of sunfish and crappies. I remember this vividly, as they would take me on the boat, but there were no life preservers. So the next best thing was to tie this little 4-year-old girl to the boat, and that's exactly what they did. Reverend Nauman and Amelia had 7 children. Kelsey's grandfather, Conrad Nauman, was about in the middle of the pack. 3 of the boys were in World War II during this time, including her grandfather, Conrad. Kelsey's great-uncle Louis, who was the youngest of the 7 children, was actually attending Annandale High School at this time, but was drafted into the Navy at the ripe old age of 17. 4 years and 2 moves later, great-grandfather Reverend Nauman moved back to South Haven for his retirement. I'm sure his wife, Kelsey's great-grandmother Amelia, was more than a little concerned about their meager retirement income. So when the opportunity arose for her to take care of an elderly woman in Rochester, she willingly took the job. She was able to build up her Social Security and save a little extra during those few years. The extra was what she used to buy this Nauman cabin in the early 1950s. I vividly remember the first time I walked into the cabin from the side door, which is no longer there. It smelled, oh, so musty. It was very dark due to the fact there were no windows in front, only the wooden flaps that lifted up to reveal screens. It was filled with old wicker furniture and a daybed covered with a smelly, crazy quilt. You know how young people have such sensitive noses. My mother, Frances, was the oldest of the 7 children. She and my father bought the lot next to this cabin from Kelsey's great-grandmother, Amelia, in about 1954 for $1,000. Shortly after that, Kelsey's grandfather, Dr. Conrad Nauman, and grandmother Doreen bought this cabin from his mother, Amelia. Conrad loved this cabin and spent the rest of his lifetime remodeling and updating every summer. It has gone through many changes and transitions and is absolutely bursting at the seams with 65 years of wonderful and precious memories. This weekend will be the most wonderful memory of all. Kelsey and Neil's wedding here at their most favorite and special place. I wish for each of you, Kelsey and Neil, a lifetime of love and happiness, and of course, many more years of making your own wonderful and precious memories here at your cabin. Congratulations.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you? Can I take it in the morning where the fields are painted gold and the trees are filled with memories of the feeling never told? When the evening takes the sun down and the day is all through and the whole world is sleeping, but my world is you. Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you?
I'd like to now invite Chris Guiama.
I don't know how I follow that. Hard War by Shel Silverstein.
Get in there. Get in there. No? Get in that mic.
Get up.
Just get up there.
Better? There we go. Tug of War by Shel Silverstein. I will not play at Tug of War. I'd rather play at Hug of War, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins.
Kelsey and Neil, over the past 8.5 years, you've nurtured and fostered a relationship built on love, trust, and friendship, with many experiences bringing you both along the way. Let's all think back to that first time you met each other, at the time of your unofficial first date on Super Bowl weekend of 2008. Kelsey, you had yet to have your excursion in Africa, an incredible journey traveling around the world, only to be met by Neil during the last leg of the trip, sharing wonderful memories in Portugal before returning home. At the time of your first unofficial first date in February 2008, Neil, you had yet to move to Seattle. A 3-month tour that culminated with Kelsey flying out to accompany you on the road trip back to Minnesota. In both scenarios, the other accompanying the other home after a long journey. From there, you both lived for a time at a house at Thomas Avenue before buying a house of your own in Robbinsdale. Talking with you both separately last night, the experience of renovating your home with the tremendous guidance and help of family and friends is a favorite memory for you both, and specifically for Kelsey, day one, tearing into it. Also a favorite memory for you that you share is the time you spend with family and friends, hanging out, traveling as far as Sayulita, Mexico, or as close as your backyard. Through all of these experiences since the unofficial first date, Kelsey, you and Neil have discovered essential qualities of one another. In talking with Kelsey last night, she loves how determined Neil is to learn new things. From learning a new song on guitar to home renovation techniques or the work at Robbinsdale Fire Department, Neil takes on new opportunities and challenges head on with an uncanny ability to greet each day with your face to the sun. In turn, Neil's favorite quality about Kelsey is her optimistic outlook on life. As anyone can attest, this contagious positivity starts small with a laugh, and before you know it, all of those around her feel the pull of life she brings with her. Together, you both make an incredible team, believing in each other's dreams, consoling each other in times of hardship, and creating a home in each other's hearts. Never lose sight of these memories and qualities that have brought you here today. You have built a solid foundation to grow your relationship, and with the support and love of family and friends, there are no unforeseen obstacles you can't overcome. The biggest gifts we can give you are roots and wings. You can do anything. You can go anywhere. You can be the people you aspire to be together. At this time, I'd like you to both share your vows.
Kelsey, I promise to love and care for you and always be honest with you, and to honor your dreams and fears and to understand who you are. I'm excited to grow old with you, going to as many foreign places as possible. You are my best friend, and you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love you.
Neil, for the rest of our lives, I promise to love you unconditionally, even when times are tough. I promise to encourage, support, and and believe in you as you repeatedly do for me. I promise to allow you to be